Okay. All right, we here. What up? We here with RKT Appraisals in the building. Rashid and Kaylee in the building. What up?
Yo.
What's going on?
So today's topic, we're talking about the best way to increase your income and what else? It was. I know there was another part of it, but
and your benefits.
Cool. So what's that about?
Yeah, man. I mean, the main thing is about, we'll start off with a 9-to-5 worker. You want to know what you actually get, what benefits you actually have at your job. And a lot of times, people work for jobs, and to be honest with you, the benefits and what they give you is trash.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So if you're working at a job, first red flag, and they don't have a 401k, that's not the job for you. If a job can't even give you a 401k, it's probably not that great of a company.
Right.
So that's like one of the major things you always want to look like. What is your job offering you? How much they're going to match you in your 401k, so you can actually make money. So that helps you retire down the line if you're going to be a 9-to-5 worker. The other thing too, medical benefits is a serious thing. You always want to advocate for yourself and get paid more money, because the way medical benefits is set up, every year they're going up and up and up. And if you leave a job, go to another job, the new companies, it might be 20-30% higher than what you was paying last year, the previous company, for your medical coverages. So that's why you want to make sure whatever job you're going to, you making sure you're getting good, decent benefits, and making sure you're trying to get the best salary and negotiate your salary to make sure it covers up anything you lose, because inflation is not a game. If the price of food is going up, medical costs is going up. But they don't tell you that when you get in the job. You just go take the job. Oh yeah, I'm going to give you $70,000. Yay! Meantime, before you was paying $300 a month for medical coverage. Now you're paying $550. You just lost $3,000 off that salary you just got. So that's why I say that's the first thing on 9-to-5s when it comes to benefits of what jobs offer you. You want to see. Right. The other thing you want to see with a lot of jobs is, do they give you a bonus plan? You know what I mean? Do you get an actual bonus? That's always a good thing to look for. Not all jobs give you that, but you want to actually find out if they have a bonus, how it all works, and then ask them, how you're going to grow, like what's their raises like, what kind of program or what kind of metrics they have for you to keep getting more money. So those are things you always want to see what your job actually offers you. A lot of time people just take jobs just because you're getting a job. Oh, you just want to be able to work and you get paid decent. But, we're past that point of, okay, I'm getting paid $20 an hour. That's okay. Nah, you need to know, what is the job giving me? You need to interview them, not just having them interview you, because at the end of the day, there's better out there.
Real shit. So what do you think about that, Kelly? What's your thoughts on that?
I agree 100%, but then you also got to talk about the jobs that are not giving benefits, or not, because not every job give benefits, and if they do, the benefits are trash, like you said, right? So let's talk about the people who have these low income paying jobs. How do they get benefits? How do they get health insurance? How do they get life insurance? How do they get these different types of benefits that should come with the job but doesn't come with the job, right? So in them situations, my advice is that you have to get coverage outside of the job. There's Medicaid, and for health insurance. For life insurance, you can get something as cheap as $20 a month for a policy. So there's certain jobs that, like, if you're working at a retail store, most retail jobs don't come with real benefits. Those are low income paying jobs that doesn't come with any type of benefits. So you yourself have to be the one to go outside your job and still search for these benefits, like health insurance and life insurance for yourself. But like I said, it's still affordable for you, but you yourself have to do it, because the employer is not going to do it for you. You got to do it for yourself.
That's real shit. So the thing is that if you're in these jobs and you want more money or more benefits or whatever it is like that, do you suggest that people, let's say, for example, some people want to make more money, so do you suggest them getting another job or doing like a side hustle? Like, what do you think is the best course of action for that?
I would go to say both. Okay. Yeah, I would say both. One, you want to get another job. The reality of the situation is, because inflation's a real thing, because jobs legally, even if it's a little bit, every year they put a position out, the pay increases. So what does that really mean? That means if you've been working at a job for 15 years, the new guy that just comes in is probably making about 30-40% more than you. So what does that really mean? You got too comfortable. And to your point, Mr. Lucaro, yes, go get another job, because your same position, you probably could get anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 more, just a general range for that same role that you're doing if you go elsewhere, because somebody else is going to pay you more money. Why? Because you're more valuable. Why? Because you have experience. You've been doing it for a while, so they have to train you less, which means it costs less money. It means that you're going to make less mistakes, so that's going to cost them less money because you're making less mistakes. So you will get paid more money. So, for example, to your point, Mr. Lokari, if you work at a job and say you're a contractor or something like that, a construction worker, random job, and they pay you $30 an hour, they would rather your job probably every year give you a 3% increase, whatever the case is, which is average or whatever it is, and you get what? That's like $31, $32 extra an hour. But that same job, you go take your 10 years of experience, go somewhere else, they might give you $45, $50 an hour. But instead, if you stood there, you'd have never gotten to that level. And it took you 20 years to get to that 50 that you could have got this year if you just left. So absolutely go to another job, and absolutely, I would say side hustle, because creating multiple streams of income is a serious thing. You want to have your 401k. You got your Social Security if it actually lasts by the time, based on your age and all that type of stuff. You want to get your life insurance policy. You want to get all these benefits and have those things build up over time. So when you're able to retire and able to keep making money constantly and creating multiple streams of income. So yes, both. I would do both.
I think just to piggyback off that, I think that time is a factor in everybody's lives, because a lot of people are single parents, right? So then they may or may not have the time for a second job. So like a side hustle just for a few hours after work or before work would be great for somebody. Especially now these days, there's so many different ways that you can get paid online these days that, you could literally be home. Even if you physically got to go to your regular job, you could be home, whether it's before work or after work, and you can literally go on TikTok and make sounds, and it'll pay you for making sounds on TikTok and YouTube and different sites like that. There's so many different streams of income that different ways to make income online that you should definitely use use that as a side hustle to make some extra income, because then now you can use that income for different reasons to make ends meet.
Right. Now that's real shit. That's real good. It's funny because I think like a lot of times when people want to increase their income or get things going, it's like they forget that there still has to be work to be put in order to get to that next level. You know what I'm saying? Or to get to that next spot. So it's like, I think a lot of times, like, people gotta, sort of like have a different mindset so that they can actually get to that increase in income. Because I don't think you could get to the increase in income if you don't change your mindset. Because if you don't change your mindset, you're not gonna do the shit differently in order to get a different outcome. You know what I'm saying?
And just I think just to piggyback off that too, yes, it is the mindset. Also, people gotta start getting results too. Because it's like a how can I say it? It's a short time frame to where somebody can, even if you have the right mindset, if you don't start to see the results that you want to see, it's only but for so long that a person, you have to be real disciplined. And let's be honest, most people are not that disciplined to where a mindset alone is going to change it. They need to start seeing results, so those results can match up with that mindset to continue moving forward. Right. So what do I mean by that? Like, let's say if you, like you said, you get a side hustle, right? But if you're not making any income from that side hustle, at that point, it means nothing. If you start making some revenue, if you start making some income from a side hustle, now your belief system starts to increase. It starts to go through the roof at that point. So it kind of has to match up a little bit. Yes, you need the mindset, right? But you still need the results to go with it. So it's important that you, like, when you get a side hustle, have like a plan, like create a business plan, and you can call our KT we can help you create that business plan to where when you do have a side hustle, you can execute it properly, you can see the results, and then hence your mindset will start to, your belief system will start to increase and go through the roof to where it's a continuous thing at that point,
That's facts. So guys, get up with our RKT appraisals. That's true though, because a lot of times, people like, especially because this is how I look at it. When you're working a 9 to 5, right? I think it's hard for people to transition into a side hustle because sometimes what happens with side hustles is that it might take a while for something to pop off, or it might not equate like the same way that they're getting a check every 2 weeks. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? But like what you said, I agree with you, is that they should start seeing some sort of like something happening so that they can see, okay, the time that I'm putting in, I'm at least getting something back from this. So I think like with people who do side hustles, I think it should be something where they can just sort of jump in and be like for example, like something like Uber kind of thing. It's like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? If you do that, you can just jump in, see if you're making a few dollars, and it's like, okay, cool. Well, at least I know if I want to make some extra money, I could just do this on the weekend and call it a day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or like you said, there's certain things on the internet where you say, okay, I can plug myself into this thing, and if I do this amount, I might get this amount back. You feel what I mean? Because a side hustle doesn't necessarily need to be like something you love doing, but it's something that you can do in order to, you know what I'm saying, like get some paper and see that you can make some extra money. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And there's 4 ways that you can treat this, right? You could treat a new side hustle. One, you could treat it like a hobby, and
Right.
like a hobby. What do we know about hobbies? Hobbies actually cost you money. You don't make any money with the hobby. Secondly, you can treat it like an employee, to where you have a schedule. You know you're going to be dedicating maybe 20 hours a week to this side hustle, right? You have a schedule for it as an employee, right? Then you can treat it like a business owner. And then also lastly, you can treat it like an investor, but that's like later on, like that's like the other side of the quadrant. First, you want to treat it, if you're going to treat it like a hobby, then treat it like an employee. Treat it as a business owner, then you treat it as an investor, because then you want to continuously invest in your business and as a business owner, so it's different levels to it.
So what's your thoughts on like job market? Like, let's say somebody's like, well, I don't want a side hustle, but I just want to make more money, so I should just get a different job. So do you think that a person should be like, let me just switch jobs? Or do you think it's better for them to just like stick to the job they are in, save some money, and then maybe later on think about it? Because is this like the time now to just be like, fuck this job, I'm gonna go to this next one and just, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, no way.
I mean, the truth is, Mr. Okari, with that one, or the reality is that it's go back to what you said before. It's the mindset, because everything you do take risks, right? And to make more money, you got to take the risk. Some people extremely don't like taking any risks in life, and they get overly comfortable. So what happens is that person, if you're that scary and you don't want to take the risk of trying a new job market, you have to be going trying another job in general to get paid more money. That's the minimum that individual has to do. So that person, I'm scary, I don't want to take the chance because I'm gonna be the first one they lay off if they do start laying people off. If you're that person, then you need to take your experience and take your services elsewhere and get paid more money. That's your only option that you have to do. But to your point, Mr. Lakari, for the person that's the actual risk taker, absolutely. Why not go to another job and then try something new, get paid more money? And if you fail, but you're going to learn from that experience, and you can use that experience to get more money. I'll give you the perfect example, man. My own life, man. I jumped in the insurance industry, was working on one side of insurance, had no idea how to do one other category. What I did was I used my company. They paid for me to go on interviews within the company. I used all that information on how to do this job that I don't know how to do on the interviews, shadowing people. Then I applied to another company, got the job, did horrible. Was about to get fired, but used all that information, learned from all my mistakes, and before they could fire me, I applied to another job and got $10,000 more. And I learned all from the mistakes. It was stressful, it was risky, and I was about to get fired. But I was like, let me look at the situation. After 8 months, I learned all from my mistakes, made all the mistakes I made from there, and I was proactive. That's the key. Being proactive. If you know you're doing risky stuff, you got to be proactive. I was proactive. Like, listen, this is not going too great. Let me start looking elsewhere, while at the same time, let me suck up and learn as much as possible as I can now. And I made more money going somewhere else. So that's the perfect formula. Just take the risk. You got to, man. That's the only way you're gonna know if you're good at something else besides what you do. Otherwise, you'll be stuck forever, which a lot of people do, but I don't recommend it.
I agree 100%.
So it says, is it possible to get rich working for someone else?
In my opinion, no.
Yeah,
no.
You can. I think you can.
In my opinion,
no.
Okay,
go ahead.
He said, is it possible to get rich working for someone else? In my opinion, honestly, no. You can make a lot of money working for someone else. But in my opinion, getting rich of working for someone else, at that point, you're basically you're helping somebody live their dream. You're not going to get rich, but you will make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money work for somebody else, but I don't believe that you can get rich. If you can get rich with working with other people and building a business. But there's very few people in this world that are getting rich actually working for someone else. It's very rare. It's almost unheard of. And you could really like look this stuff up. Like Forbes comes out with the 400 richest people in the world, right? More than half of those people are in financial services. That's number one, right? One of the biggest industries is basically marketing. Most people, they're doing it on their own, or they have a team. They're not working for somebody. They're working with other people to get rich. So, like I said, in my opinion, can you get rich off of working for somebody else? Nope. But you can make a lot of money though.
Man. So I agree, but what I will say though, just to tweak it a little bit, is that you can get rich from working with somebody, but the reality of the situation is you have to be way more disciplined, and it takes longer. So you can get rich from working with somebody, but it takes longer. You have to be aggressive, and you have to be constantly evolving and having discipline. What do I mean by that? You know, a person that starts off with a regular 9-to-5 that makes $30,000-$40,000, they can get into the $200,000-$300,000 bracket annual salary. It may take them 10 to 15 years to get to that level, but they can get to that level. What then becomes a real thing now is, what are they doing with the money they're making? Because they don't get rich from that point is because, let's be honest, they're not disciplined. Because if you're making $100K above a year, you can put that money into investments. You can put that money into property. But what happens is people get lazy. So it's not that they can't get rich, but people just get lazy and don't use their money to evolve. But to your point, okay, you know, like if you're working with somebody, you both are working together and maximizing your potential separately. You know what I mean? So I do think you can, but take way longer, a lot of discipline, and most people don't have that discipline, and people get way too comfortable, way too quick, get a little raise, and I'm good. My job paid good. You've been making the same thing for 5 years. You hear people say, it's great benefits, but how much is your benefits only really cost you $3,000-$4,000 a year? But if you made an extra $15,000 a year, are your benefits really that great? If you really just made more money, it wouldn't even matter what your benefits are. But people get comfortable and get stuck. That's the reality of the situation.
Yeah, a consistent check can become a crippling, a crippling vice for the wannabe entrepreneur. You know what I mean? But again, it's the mindset. Is a mindset of the person, because the whole time, if you're making a certain salary, you can be employing other people to run your businesses while you at work for the other spot or whatever it is. But one thing I will also say is, one way to increase your income and your benefits is to have start young and have a plan for your life. Because I've seen other, people from other communities, they move out of their parents' house at age 30. You understand? And they move into mansions. You know what I'm saying? Because they had a plan. Like they stayed at home throughout their college years. They stacked their bread throughout the first 10 professional years. You understand? And there's no shame in living with your parents. Like in a lot of other communities, there's a certain level of shame living with your mom. But what's the shame if I'm stacking my bread to move into a fucking mansion?
Right.
You understand? What's the shame if I'm doing it with a purpose? What's the shame if I live in the west wing of my mom's house? You see what I'm saying? Mm. Like some people, shit, even if it was a small house and I'm in the basement, there still shouldn't be any shame, especially if I'm doing it with a plan. Now, mind you, if I'm just sitting in the basement playing video games, beating off, that's a whole other story. And that's what I mean by the mindset. You understand? Because it's like you could be in that same fucking basement. You could either be working on your plan, or you could be beating off just playing video games. Do you understand? So it's not about the circumstances. It's really about the mindset. Just like with working for other people, it's like you getting that salary for one person. It's like, why even try? Just go out, splurge, buy bottles because I'm getting paid so well. And imagine you getting paid a salary of like, 5 to 10 G's a month. And your expenses match your paycheck. You live a paycheck to paycheck, just like the nigga that work at McDonald's. You see what I'm saying? So mindset is super, super incredible when it comes to this type of shit, because so many people love to like, it all goes back to the truth is inside you. Like, so many people like to blame circumstances and excuses on other shit. And it's like, listen, man, I could be making $10 an hour, or I could be making $1,000 an hour. The truth is what I do with that money. The real factor is how I spend my money. The real factor is, am I trying to impress bitches with my salary, or am I using my salary to impress upon these bitches that I have a plan? You see what I'm saying? And what kind of bitches am I trying to impress? Because the average dude, like look at these dudes, these rappers, these Bandman Kevos and these other type of niggas. Like, they wasting their money on liposuction because the bitch was cheating on them. Nigga, you meet a chick at the club. Less than a month later, you buy her a fucking car. Less than a month later, you buy her a $10,000 bag. Less than a month later, you already flying her out and all of this crazy shit. You giving her all of this privilege with your money and your resources, and she hasn't earned one fucking red cent. Because the only thing she did for you was fuck you, and sex is a fair exchange. You understand what I'm saying? But then you got somebody like, who? You got like, what's his name?
Who?
Lupe Fiasco. He takes his first advance check and he creates his own fucking record label.
Right.
First and the 15th. You understand? Your ass is over here tricking on chicks and getting lipo because you got cheated on. Not realizing that the reason why you got cheated on is because of your mindset. Because the whole time you trying to buy this woman shit so she won't cheat on you. But you didn't realize that the ease with which you bought her shit made her look at you like you ain't worth nothing.
Right.
Because it's not about the object. It's about how hard you got to work for it. You understand? Because if I got $10 or if I got something worth $10 and I make my woman scrub my house from top to bottom, and then I only show it to her, be like, look, here it is. But now you got to scrub, you got to scrub my house for a month and then I'll give it to you. When I hand her that $10 bag that I bought off the street from the Africans, she gonna be looking at this bag like, yo, this bag is it. This bag is the best bag ever. But if I take a $10,000 bag and I meet a bitch last week and I hand it and I give it to her like, yo, take this, she gonna be looking at it like it ain't worth nothing.
Right.
Ain't that funny?
That's crazy.
Yep.
I get it's a $10,000 bag, but I give it to her with ease, and she's looking at it like, this ain't worth shit. But a $10 bag, if I make a woman work for it, when I give it to her, she's like, oh my God, thank you so much. I really appreciate my bag. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so beautiful. You understand what I'm saying? So it's mindset, right? You look at yourself. If you really want to increase your income, the benefits of your salary and your money and your work, you have to love yourself. You understand? Let's be clear. You have to love yourself. You understand? A big part of a big part of people who, I don't like to look my nose down at 9-to-5ers because we need everybody to make this shit work. You understand? Everybody can't be a boss, and that's understandable. But I still need you to love yourself, though. You understand? Like niggas working at McDonald's. In a few months, you supposed to be moving on to something better, so another young nigga could come up and work at the McDonald's.
100%. That's just a stepping stone.
You know what I'm saying? Make some fucking money. You understand? Like, let's look at what we're doing. Let's have the mindset and say, do we want better? Yes, we want better. So we moving up. And even if you want to stay at the McDonald's, don't be on the fries forever, my nigga. Come on. You understand what I'm saying? You could. The bottom line is, it don't matter what the circumstance is. It's the mindset. And bottom line is, do you want better? Yes or no? Let's not blame McDonald's. Man, I'm just working at McDonald's, man. This job ain't shit. I can't advance. The white man got his foot on my neck. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Nah, nigga. It's niggas out there that started off like it's a lot of managers of McDonald's right now today that would tell you, yeah, I started working here in the summertime just to make a little bit of money, and then I just fell in love with the business, and then I turned around and before I knew it, I was a franchisee, bought my own fucking McDonald's.
Right.
And now I have 10 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I started on the fries. You understand what I'm saying? So it's the circumstances, the money, the company, whether you started out as a 9-to-5 or you started out as a boss, whether you had an entrepreneurial mindset or not. What is your mindset? Do you actually want better for yourself? Do you want to advance? Do you want to increase your income?
Right.
You understand? And there's certain things that we need to understand about business. There's different types of growth when it comes to business, right? There's vertical growth, and then there's lateral. Pause. Right, but there's vertical and then there's lateral. You understand what I'm saying? And for guys in the chat or whatever that know us like that, understand what vertical is. Like, you know, we started out putting a lot of energy into, for example, Mr. Lucario, the brand of Mr. Lucario, right? So we started out with Lucario. Lucario had you wrote books and you know, he did videos and everything, and then we had the Bad Boy membership, right? So and we grew vertical with that. So Lucario, his brand was building upward.
Right.
So then we was like, well, Lucario's brand is doing pretty good. Now niggas is asking all these questions about Miles Cunningham.
Right.
So now Miles Cunningham has a membership. You understand? The masculine identity membership and so on.
Right.
That's called horizontal growth. Mm-hmm. Because we went vertical with Lucario, so now we're going horizontal. So now, right. See, this is Lucario. This is Mr. Lucario's brand, and so now instead of just working on Mr. Lucario's brand, we shifted horizontally. So now we got Lucario's up here. Now we got Miles,
right?
And Miles is growing too. Now we working vertically on Miles. But the fact is, now it's not just one membership; it's 2 memberships now. Right. That's horizontal growth. So like I said, mindset and understanding the nature of your business. And understanding the nature of your business is trying to understand what it'll take to make your shit grow, what it would take to make your revenue stream grow, what it would take to make your profits grow. And then one last thing I'll say about mindset is try to find something that you love, man. Try to find something that you really like doing. Too many of us be running into fucking arenas and niches just because of money. You see. Oh, they over there making money with with credit cards. Oh, I'm gonna go over there and do that shit. Oh, they over there making money with photography. Okay, I'm gonna go over there and do that shit. Oh, they over there making money talking about dating and relationships and red pill shit. Oh, I'm gonna go do that shit. You know what I'm saying? There's a million fucking niggas with YouTube channels that started, and while they were motivated emotionally, they was making videos. Yeah, girls this and men that and double standards and women and blah blah blah. Right. And niggas like, there ain't no money in this. Fuck that. You got a bunch of YouTube channels that started and then niggas just fell off the face of the fucking earth. Right. And truthfully, that's disrespectful. Why is it disrespectful? Because you got niggas in the niche that actually love it. That got consistency, that got seniority. And all you did with your little bullshit channel is deflect attention away from the real niggas. Right. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like mindset, and a part of that mindset is doing something that you really love to do. I always ask anybody this. I say, look, what is it you would do if there was no fucking money involved? You would still do that shit. When you find that answer, that's the thing that you truly love to do. And that's what you should do. And then that's the thing you should surround your business with. You understand? Because let me tell you something about love. Love can see you through all things. Love, and I'm not talking about the love for a woman. I'm talking about the love in here, the mindset. Love can maintain consistency. Love can have you keep doing the shit even if niggas is not buying right now. You still do what you do. You understand? How many? All right, let's look at somebody like Kanye West. right? If you look at Kanye West's story, how long did it take him to actually get a fucking record deal with Rockefeller Records?
Right.
How long? He was giving them beats, but his love was to rap and to be a fucking artist.
Mhm.
And niggas was staring him right in the face.
Right.
And was like, nah. But what did he do? He loved it so much and he kept doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Now this nigga's trying to run for president. Now this nigga, you know. Look, let me tell you something, and I'll just end it with this. Because I know I've been killing it for a minute. You know a nigga got a whole bunch of money when a nigga could lose $1.5 billion in one day.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. It's one thing to make a bunch of money, but for a nigga to throw away $1.5 billion in one day.
Mm-hmm.
That lets you know and then when you really look at it, you ask yourself, how did he even get that money? He got that money because of something that he loved. It was a part of his mindset.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't literally say, "Oh, I want $1.5 billion." No, he said, "I want to design shoes." What was he arguing with Sway about?
Mm-hmm.
You don't got the answer, Sway.
Yeah, he was telling Sway, I am the most brilliant mind of our time. That was his mindset.
Right.
So the $1.5 billion that he lost was literally just a reflection, an indication of his brilliance. But it's the brilliance that drove him, meaning the love, the mindset, the thing that really gives him his drive. It's not the money. Trust me, it's not the money. It is his ability to take the things that are inside here and to make them real, that you can hold in your fucking hand. That's what drives him. You understand? And that's what I mean when I say love. That's what I mean when I say mindset.
Right. Real shit. So, anything you guys also want to say before we wrap this up? As far as
man, just want to touch a little bit on for the people that's not 9 to 5, ways that you want to increase your benefits and stuff like that. Is just being self-aware. What do I mean by that? If you're a 1099 independent agent, entrepreneur, business owner, you actually need to know if, if you stop working, because most people started off at 9 to 5 at some point in most cases. Right. So you need to know what you're getting in Social Security, because you need to know how to retire. If you left your job and you don't have a 401k and you're a 1099 or independent person and you don't have a 401k, you need to call RKT and get an IUL policy, because that policy is going to generate you interest just like 401k, and you could borrow from it and you could retire off of this as well. So it's one of those things where if you're not a 9 to 5 and you're an entrepreneur, like this benefit part is crucial. Like, you need to know what you get in Social Security, God forbid, when you get old, because guess what? If you ain't paying attention to that, oh yeah, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a block, and you ain't paying attention to how you're going to be able to retire, because at some point you got to slow down. We all get older. You don't run as fast as you used to back in the day. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing with money and everything else. So you want to start building certain things in the meantime, meaning if you are, like I said, a 1099 or own your own business, know what you have in Social Security. If you don't have a 401k, make sure you get an IUL policy so you're always generating revenue and you have something in stocks. Then when you learn from that, you can invest in other stocks.
Right.
Start investing into real estate and things of that nature. And if real estate isn't for you, you could invest in other things. But the point is, you have to create multiple streams of income. You actually have to pay attention way more on what type of medical benefits you're getting if you're not on state insurance. Actually pay attention to benefits and what you're paying for. Because a lot of things people don't talk about is, if you're a business owner and you're paying for your own medical benefits and you chose the cheapest selection and you mess around and have cancer and you find out, like John Q, your policy only cover $100,000 and your bill $600,000, what you going to do? So I just tell people, when paying attention to benefits is just not the 9 to 5 world. If you're an entrepreneur, pay attention to this type of stuff. It could cost you your life legitimately. So that would be my one message in terms of the 1099 and things of that nature.
Oh shit.
I mean, for me, last thing I would say, for one, like kind of what Miles was saying, as far as Kanye was concerned, when it comes to the mindset, it's not even the fact that like Adidas dropped him. Like, nobody cares about Adidas. Nobody's rocking Adidas before. Once Kanye made his shoes, that's when it was cool to rock Adidas again. Right? So it was his idea. and what he brought to the table that made his clothing line so great, his sneakers so great, right? So you just got to say to yourself, all right, what can I do? What's in it for me when it comes to the benefits? And that's anything in life. What's in it for me, right? So when you say that to yourself, you have to be honest with yourself and know what's in it for you. Because if there's no benefit to what you're doing, then it's pointless for you to do it. There has to be a benefit besides just the money. The money, yes, but it has to be something else to where, you know what, to where that feeling to where you're like, you know what, this is something that I need to be doing. If you like what Miles was saying, if you can't honestly say that to yourself and be true to yourself and be honest with yourself, then don't even bother to do it. Don't waste your time. Time is the most valuable thing that has been given to us, and you don't want to waste a second of it, right? And most people do. So with the 9 to 5, it's not that you're wasting time, it's that you're being paid for your time. As an entrepreneur, we're being paid for our ideas, which is profit. You get what I'm saying? So you got to be mindful of what you're doing with your time. And a lot of time with the 9 to 5 day, you take up a lot of time to, working for somebody else and helping them live their dream. You only have one life to live your dream. Use that time to live your dream. And that's the last thing I'll say.
Thanks.
This is up.
All right. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
And we out. We see y'all later. Peace. We out. We gone.